I, Ellen Warwick, Chair of the Justice Federal Credit Union's Board of Directors, now call our 2021 virtual annual meeting to order. Welcome, everyone, to the 2021 virtual annual meeting. There are 64 members registered for this meeting, and we have a sufficient number of participants for a quorum of 15. There is a Q&A button on your screen to click to ask questions during the meeting. Responses to your questions will be given at the end of the meeting. Our first order of business is the approval of the 2020 annual meeting minutes. A reading of the minutes is waived since they have been available on the JFCU website for the past 10 days. May we have a motion to approve the 2020 annual meeting minutes as presented?
I'll motion to approve those minutes. Mark Robman.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
This is Tom Wiseman. I would like to second that motion.
Are there any objections to the motion to approve the minutes as presented? Hearing none, the motion to approve the 2020 annual meeting minutes as presented is approved. As Chair of the Board of Directors, it is my privilege to present the Chair's 2021 report. My remarks will be followed by the remarks of Justice Federal Credit Union's Foundation President, the Credit Union's President, the Board of Directors Treasurer, the Chair of the Supervisory Committee, and the Chair of the Board's Nominating Committee, who will announce the results of the 2022 election. All remarks were pre-recorded for this virtual annual meeting.
As the world emerges from a transformative crisis and the economy regains traction, Justice Federal is positioned for continued growth. With strong operating momentum, industry-leading member loyalty, data-informed risk management, and the flexibility to leverage our capital strength, the credit union is ready for the future. Every day, we help our members achieve their goals with digitally enabled products and services designed for speed, convenience, and efficiency, all powered by human advice. We foster a winning culture in which employees across Justice Federal are aligned in our decision-making, empowered to drive long-term change, and recognized for their efforts to advance the credit union's strategic priorities. The pandemic is not the first disruption the credit union has faced in nearly a century in business, and characteristically, the credit union and its employees responded this time, as before, with resolve, confidence, skill, and the utmost flexibility. The pandemic has had a profound impact on the workplace and the way we interact with members, but it has not changed our commitment to support our members and help them manage their finances. We recognize the trust members place in us and the standards to which they hold us. Mark Robman, President and CEO, and the management team excelled in doing what our members expected of them, helping them through a deep and abrupt economic upheaval. The Board of Directors worked closely with management throughout the year. The 2021 financial results reflect the careful and strategic decisions that were made to manage through the pandemic and assist our members. In his message, Mark describes the tremendous efforts of employees across Justice Federal to support our members and the justice and law enforcement community when they needed it most, including collaboration with the justice and law enforcement community in delivering financial wellness education sessions. These efforts continue as the country moves toward recovery. Justice Federal's fundamental resilience, reinforced by the credit union's employees' steadfast support for their members, has never been in question, and this gives me great confidence in the future. The sense of purpose that drives everyone in the credit union can only make it stronger. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I am pleased to report that the credit union is financially sound and strategically well-positioned to pursue opportunities for growth, as demonstrated by the 2021 financial results. Looking back over the past year, we are very satisfied with the credit union's financial results. They are a testament to the hard work of our management team and employees, and we thank all of them for another successful year. I thank you for your continued confidence in us to represent your interests. It is our privilege to serve you as your representatives on the board. Our next speaker will be Thomas Baker, the president of the JFCU Foundation, who will present the JFCU Foundation report.
Thank you, Ellen. The Justice Federal Credit Union Foundation is dedicated to promoting education, reducing hardships, and improving the lives of the members of the Justice Federal Credit Union and their families, as well as members of the greater justice and law enforcement community. The U.S. Department of the Treasury recognizes the JFCU Foundation as a 501c3 organization. Basically, that means that contributions to the foundation are tax deductible for federal income tax purposes. The foundation is managed by a voluntary board of 5 individuals, made up of myself, Tom Baker, as the president, Gary Penrith as the vice president, Lamont Purdy as the treasurer, Mary Ann Woodson as secretary, and Mark Robnett, the CEO of the credit union, is an ex officiary member of our board. The main programs of the foundation are a hardship assistance and scholarship programs. We support the Youth Leadership Award of the National Academy Associates, but we also have our own Hero Scholarship Program. Each scholarship is named after a hero from a very different aspects of justice. By naming these scholarships after a hero, we keep alive their memory and the lessons they've taught us. Currently, there are 4 Hero Scholarships. If you would like to donate to the Justice Federal Credit Union Foundation or find out more about us, we're located at jfcufoundation.org. I'll now turn this meeting over to the credit union CEO, Mark Robnett.
Thank you, Tom. Justice Federal is moving forward with energy and confidence as we continue to build our high-performing, digitally enabled, future-ready credit union with leading efficiency, profitability, and loyalty, powered by a winning culture and driven by our purpose. To fulfill our purpose, we realize that strong and sustainable long-term financial performance drives our capability to grow. On this front, it has been an encouraging year. Justice Federal's superior risk management and strong capital position have strategically positioned us for the economic recovery. Despite the volatility caused by the pandemic and the extraordinary operational challenges it presented, we delivered a very competitive performance. Our ongoing investments in digital technology and product innovation contributed to enhanced member loyalty. Unfortunately, the pandemic increased the number of members facing life-altering financial impacts from income loss or situations beyond their control. Seeing a need for financial wellness, we champion members of our justice team to obtain their credit union financial counselor certification to provide free personal financial counseling to members in need. We also teamed with our partners within the justice and law enforcement community to offer financial wellness training. As we help our members move forward past the pandemic, we have reason to be optimistic of the future. Our digital-first strategy is helping to provide members greater convenience. As an early adopter of technology and innovation in banking, we see digital as far more than a channel. It powers everything we do to meet our members' needs. We're well into the next stage of innovation within Justice Federal, and it's having a profound effect as an enabler of both growth and member loyalty. Our purpose is more than a mission. It's a multifaceted framework that drives all aspects of our organization. It is front and center in all decisions made throughout the organization. It distinguishes our credit union in a highly competitive financial services marketplace and delivers unprecedented outcomes for all of our members. In the face of challenging economic headwinds, we've maintained our commitment to help our members make real financial progress and deliver on our purpose. As headwinds become tailwinds and we transition from a post-pandemic economic state to what comes next, we will use this moment to do our part to strengthen the financial lives of our members. Now, I'd like to introduce John Graney, Board Treasurer.
Thank you, Mark. Despite the challenges of the COVID pandemic during 2021, your credit union achieved solid financial success in 2021. And I would like to share with you some balance sheet statistics, some income statement information, and also some key ratio information. First, let's turn to the balance sheet. Total assets grew at 75.01 million to the end of the year at 936.71 million. This was an increase of 8.70%, which was above our budget projections by 40.16 million or 4.48%. Gross loans ended the year at 641.16 million, which was an increase of 29.45 million over 2020. The credit union also originated 229.55 million in total loan volume, which was above our budget forecast of 68.01 million or 29.63%. Total shares grew 68.90 million, ending the year at 790.38 million. And this represented an increase of 9.55% from 2020, which was above our budget projections by 38.79 million or 5.16%. Finally, capital grew at 6.42 million. Total equity ended the year at 104.29 million. And as a result, your credit union remains well capitalized with a capital ratio of 11.72%. The income statement performance was also very positive. Net operating income for the year was 10.00 million, which was over budget by 4.72 million and was an increase of 4.03 million compared to 2020. Compared to 2020, net interest income increased by 600,000 and non-interest income increased by 763,000. On the expense side, our provision for loss decreased by 5.30 million, while our operating expenses increased by 2.63 million. Finally, a few key financial ratios for your consideration. Return on average assets increased by 1.10% in 2021 from 0.72% in 2020. The credit union's net interest margin decreased to 3.29% in 2021 from 3.52% in 2020. And the credit union's capital ratio or net worth increased to 11.72% at the end of 2021, above the ending ratio for 11.55% in 2020. That concludes my treasurer's report. Next, Angela Ting, our chair of the supervisory committee, will give you her report. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Under the Federal Credit Union Act, your supervisory committee, appointed by the JFCU Board of Directors, is responsible for providing assurance that JFCU's operations are carried out in a safe and sound manner in accordance with all applicable laws and regulations. The supervisory committee, consisted of a chair and 3 members, meet regularly with the internal auditor of JFCU to ensure that the credit union implements effective internal controls and adheres to sound policies and procedures. In addition, The Supervisory Committee is represented at all JFCU Board of Directors meetings and meets with the external auditors and NCUA examiners to ensure that your assets are well safeguarded. In 2021, the financial statements audit report prepared by our external auditor, Doran Mayhew, was unmodified, indicating the financial statements of JFCU were represented fairly. In addition, NCUA conducted its annual examination and reviewed 7 major risk areas: credit risk, interest rate risk, liquidity risk, transaction risk, compliance risk, strategic risk, and reputational risk. The Supervisory Committee is glad to report that JFCU continues to remain in compliance with laws and regulations, operates in a sound manner, and is capable of withstanding business fluctuations. Thank you. Our next speaker is Roger Trott. He will provide the results of the 2022 annual election.
Thank you, Angela. Again, my name is Roger Trott. I'm the chair of the nominating committee. The nominating committee is charged with the selection and election of the Justice Federal Credit Union Board of Directors. Our nominating committee was formed in May of 2021 in accordance with our bylaws, which are authorized by the National Credit Union Administration. We had 3 director positions that expired in May, and we are charged with maintaining an accurate and fairly held election to fill the vacancies on the board. The incumbent directors whose terms were expiring were John Graney, Greg Polonica, and Ellen Warwick. Additionally, member Carl Alexander, who was a former board member, also submitted his application and was successfully became a candidate. We had what we believe to be favorable turnout with 1,150 ballots cast. The election results were tallied by Q's and provided to the nominating committee. The election results were as follows. Ellen Warwick received 913 votes. John F. Graney received 812 votes. Carl Alexander received 671 votes. And Greg Polonica received 646 votes. Ellen, John, and Carl were then determined by the vote count to be the newly elected directors. The newly elected officers will serve a 3-year term going forward, and we wish them all the best as they take their positions. Now turn this over to Ellen for her continuation of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Our next order of business is a call for old business to report. Hearing none, the next call is for new business to report. Mark will now respond to any questions we have received from you prior to this meeting or questions received through the Q&A module during the meeting.
Thank you, Ellen. A few questions were submitted ahead of the annual meeting. I will answer a few of them now. Any account-specific questions posed by members will be answered by a representative from JFCU in a follow-up call or email. The first question related to what JFCU's timeline is for raising interest rates on CDs. We routinely monitor the interest rate environment to ensure JFCU rates are competitive. I believe we will make some rate updates after the next Federal Open Market Committee meeting in June. The second question was around limited branch locations from a retiree. We're always evaluating our branching strategy with an eye on what is best for our members. If there is no Justice FCU branch that's conveniently located, we do take part in the shared branch network, and we can be accessed via our partner institutions who are participating in that network. You can visit the JFCU website and click locations, where there is a filter that allows for a search of shared branch locations near you. The last question was about when we would offer peer-to-peer payment applications like Venmo or Zelle. We're evaluating these technologies currently and plan to announce a partnership with a vendor in the space in the coming months. That was the last of the questions. Back to you.
Thank you, Mark. Mark's responses, along with will be posted after the meeting for all members to view, along with the questions that were asked. I now call for a motion to adjourn the 2021 virtual annual meeting.
This is Tom Baker. I move for adjournment.
Thank you, Tom.
This is John Graney. I'll second that motion.
Thank you, John. The 2021 virtual annual meeting is now adjourned. A recording of the meeting, along with a copy of the annual report, will be available on our website a few days after the meeting is concluded. Thank you.